Hey everyone, my name is Renee. I'm in Michigan, and today I want to talk about co-living or shared housing and just kind of what that entails and why people might be interested in doing it. So, why co-living? What are the different ways that we can look at this situation? So, sometimes people co-live by putting multiple generations into one house, especially in more expensive areas. That's been popular for a long time. Another way to do the co-living model is to put people who are unrelated together. So it could be an owner-occupied situation, like I have this big house, I have 5 bedrooms, but it's just me. And a lot of times those people will invite others in for a rent payment and host them in their own home. It could also just be, a landlord offering a co-living situation to others that are unrelated. Another way that this could be done is by having certain focus groups that the co-living or shared housing is hosting there. One could be military or veterans. Another one could be sober living kind of houses, 55 and over houses, women only houses, men only houses. It's whatever the landlord or owner wants. So that's another variety of how this could be done in real life. Now, there's 2 ways to go about this, and it took me thousands of dollars and a couple of years to realize this. But one way is through a 501c3, which is a nonprofit organization. You can create one if you want to be the landlord managing this and offering this to others. You would create that organization, have a board with different people on it, and it would help run this process. And sometimes you work with like state agencies so that they can help you place people more easily in these homes. You do get a little income from this. It's not as much as a for-profit institution, but it is one way to do it and to also fundraise and have people donate to you. And there are some tax advantages to it too. Another way you could do this is just for profit. So for example, me as a landlord, I'd go out and buy a house with, let's say, 7 bedrooms and I rent the rooms. There's a couple companies doing that right now. One is Pad Split. They're very popular in certain parts of the country in the US, but that's another way to go about doing it, just as a landlord for profit. So why? What are the benefits to landlords, and then what are the benefits to people who are maybe, staying in these houses or situations? So for landlords, the ROI generally, return on investment, is higher. So whatever money you're putting into it, generally you get a higher percentage back for each month that you rent it out, or each year, however you look at that. Another reason is that one larger property, in my case I like the larger properties, but one larger one is much more efficient than having 4 smaller ones kind of spread apart. So by having one property of one big roof, one set of hot water heaters, one set of furnaces, etc. But if you had 4 houses, now you have 4 smaller roofs, 4 smaller hot water heaters, 4 smaller furnaces, etc. So it's just a little more work when you have multiple small houses versus the larger versions of this model. Another one is economy of scale. I like the larger ones because a smaller and smaller portion for the bills goes towards each tenant's cost to house them. So having a 10 unit is much more efficient in all the areas versus having a 5-unit co-living house. So that's why I like the larger ones better, because the bills are just lower per person overall, whether it's taxes or water or electricity. Another one is having the company or community. Sometimes people live in their house and they want to offer the bedrooms, like I stated earlier, and they want companionship. They want to spend their life with someone. I know a lot of older people spend a majority of their time alone. They don't go out and do things like they used to, and it gets very lonely, and they have no one to share anything with. And a lot of people really need that, and it's healthy mentally for those people. So a lot of people offer the bedrooms for rent, and they pay the bills, and they just bring in the rent checks, and it helps them stay in a house that they love and they maybe have been in a while also hosting other people and helping them out. So that's another one. Also, from the resident standpoint, why would people want to be in a co-house or co-living situation? That's a good question. It's not for everyone. Some people love the idea, and some people are very much kind of want to be on their own, which I totally understand, and this wouldn't work for them. So they just get a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment. But for the residents, I can't tell you how many people I've heard say, I would love a community like this. So for example, I'm looking at a 15-bedroom house right now, and they want a community. They want to be part of something bigger than just themselves on a daily basis. They want to be able to talk about things. They want to be able to vent. They want to be able to share good news. So they really just want the community feeling that there's others in their life that care about them and that they care about too. Another benefit to residents is that it saves money. Generally, a co-living situation might be anywhere from 60 to 90% of what a normal one-bedroom apartment would be. So let's say one-bedroom apartment is $1,000. The co-living situation might be anywhere from $700 to $850, let's say. So overall, because co-living includes bills usually, it turns out to be a cheaper situation overall for those residents. So it's good for them too. Also, sharing costs and services. A lot of times co-living houses have cleaning done either once a month or twice a month. There's also a lot of bills associated, like snow removal sometimes in the north, cutting the grass, having internet service already provided. Being able to share those services with other people in the house really reduces the load of those extra bills. Because I know a lot of people are on fixed incomes, and that is something that truly is important to them. So those are some of the things. Make sure when you're looking for larger houses, if that's what your focus is, that you check into zoning. Things that are zoned already multifamily or commercial are easier to do this with versus a single family residential zoning designation. So look into zoning, and then look into parking. That's also a big one. Make sure there's enough room for all the cars that will be there. You don't want neighbor complaints, and you don't want more issues because there's no space to park. But there's a lot of rules, a lot of good guidelines in co-living houses. And if you want to start one, I'll create another video kind of just going over those. But these are kind of the reasons why people would want to do co-living to begin with. Why would landlords and why would owners or just residents want to do this? So I hope you found this helpful. Let me know in the comments or send me a message, and good luck to you in whatever you decide to do. All right, bye-bye.